What's the stupidest reason you've been kicked out of a pub?
It's interesting you assume I've been kicked out of a pub a couple of times. I don't know.
Every weekend.
There's no need to bring that up.
It's called a Saturday.
I mean, you know. Let's see. Kicked out of a pub once. Which story will I tell in this scenario? Well, there was a fun time where I'll tell this one because it's not the worst one. And this is safe enough. So there was there used to be a rule where pubs would close on Good Friday around Easter time, and what happened was we were like walking across the street from one pub to the other. So it's not technically getting kicked out, but they wouldn't let us into the other pub because as we crossed the road, it passed the time where they weren't allowed to let any more people in because it was a Good Friday. Any other Friday, fine, completely no problem. So they turned us away because it was Easter. That's one way, one time. I'm not going to tell you any others. So that's all you're getting.
One time they had for a time here, they had lockout laws where you couldn't enter any licensed venue after a certain time. And it was varying times around different things. And then the idea was that it was going to limit violence or whatever. And then they actually found out that by keeping drunk people out and upsetting them, you actually create violence. What? So, yeah, for a time in Melbourne, they had it. And then they got rid of it in Melbourne, but they still had it in other random cities. And then so one night, my friend and I were going to go to this other city that was like a 3-hour drive away. And we picked up another friend, but partway through, he was too drunk, so we had to drop him off. And we ended up driving all the way there, and we were like 5 minutes after the lockout thing, so we couldn't go inside. So we basically drove 3 hours each way to take our friend for a 30-minute ride, and then he had to go back home. So yeah, it was a wild night. And yeah, we got home when the sun was coming up and didn't go anywhere. Beautiful. Yeah.
You know, these are the experiences that make you.
But yeah, I opened Reddit the other day, and the homepage was Australia, not logged in, so not related to me, but it came up Australia. What is the stupidest reason you've been kicked out of a pub? And so these are some of the answers that were there. So the first one was, my nana had just died and I was a bit miffed at how she was handled in the hospital and was expressing this to the table, and I got slapped by a girl who got offended by my thoughts. And then I got kicked out because she slapped me.
Nice. Yeah.
The next one is, I was wearing runners. The roaming bouncer had told me to leave because I had sneakers on. I told him they were runners, not sneakers. He asked me, what's the difference? I told him sneakers are for sneaking and runners are for running like this. I then proceeded to run to the back of the bar and tried to blend in with the crowd, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Sounds like something you would do when you're drunk. Not you, just a person. Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty great excuse when you're...
It reminds me, I did get kicked out of a nightclub once because...
No way.
Just one time. But the bouncer was like, you can't wear football tops. I'm like, I'm not wearing a football top. But I was wearing like a striped, like a quite wide, it was the 90s, a quite wide striped t-shirt and or top of some kind. And of different, I think it was like red and black. And I was like, this is not a football top. What are you talking about? And they was like, you got to leave. And he kicked me out because I was wearing a football shirt, which I wasn't. So
You should have gone back the next week wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey and said, this is not football. They don't play off their feet. So
it's a very good point. Yeah. Just giving it a rugby shirt on. It's like, it's not football. You can't say nothing. So yeah, so that was a fun one.
The next one, working in the pub, go out to the smoking area and try to re-enter. New hard-ass security is turning back everyone who's had too much to drink. He stops me, and because I'm sort of sweaty from working, he says, "Nope, you're drunk." Didn't have my phone on me and I had to walk to the nearest servo to call the manager. So he got kicked out of where he was working.
Nice. I mean, you would think that he'd be able to say, "I work here, dude. Like, let me go back in." That's nice though. I like it. Couldn't finish work today, boss. I got kicked out by security. So
there's so many shoe related ones, because the next one is, there was one nightclub that we lined up to go in, and when we got to the bouncer, he looks at my mate. "You can't come in here with those shoes, mate." My mate looks at the bouncer and goes, "That guy in front of me is wearing the exact same shoes and you just let him in," and pointed to the guy with the exact same shoes. The bouncer said, "You're not coming in with those shoes." So we retreated, but then it dawned on us, this club was connected to the club next door. We all went into the club next door. To the rear of that club, there was a hallway or area that just went back into that club. He wasn't an out of bounds area or anything, just you could walk over. So we did that. We got into the club and we were denied. We get into the club and we were denied, and it's pretty much empty. And we were like, this sucks. Fuck this place. We walk out the front door. On the way past the bouncer, he's like, "What the fuck?" And my mate goes, "Your club is empty and it sucks. Fuck you and your fucking shoes." The bouncer riles up and starts shouting at us, "Come here," and starts running at us. We all bolt for it. We're about to get bashed. 20 years later, I still sometimes tell my mate, "Hey, you're not coming in here with those damn shoes."
Brilliant.
I was a designated driver. I accompanied a friend to the bar. She orders a drink and I don't. Security walks up and tells me I need to leave because I was refused a drink by the bar. I told him that I didn't order a drink, asked the bar staff, and they will confirm. He says that I'm being argumentative and need to leave now.
Sweet.
Yes. I mean, so many of them are just the security being over the top.
Yeah. Mad with power, kind of crazy shit. So, yeah.
I was in a pub with some friends and went to the bar with one of them to get another round, and the bartender signaled to the bouncer to come over and said, "Sorry guys, you've obviously had too much." My friend was Norwegian. He had just got there and hadn't had any drinks yet. He just had a Norwegian accent.
Yeah, love it.
That should be the new rule, no Norwegians in the bar.
I mean, maybe with just one. Maybe they already had a Norwegian guy that you're not allowed to have two. So, yeah.
If I said the next story was about cheating with the maid, what do you think it'll be about?
Hopefully you haven't gotten into my diary. But I would imagine somebody has had a extramarital affair with their housekeeper. That's what I would assume.
Do you want to give more details?
Well, Rosa started working for us when she was 47 and I was 16. But, no more details. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the story. I'm having a physical affair with my helper. I know this is wrong, but I don't know what to do. This started mid last year, and we both secretly get together whenever we are alone at home. I started developing feelings for her when once she helped me with a body massage. Things escalated from there, and now I'm unable to stop myself. We click very well, and I think there's a big attraction between us. We do keep our personal moments off from the family time. When it comes to her work and household chores, she takes care of everything very well. She's never taken advantage of the situation. The problem is, I think my mom, who's staying with us, sent something recently, and ever since, she's been insisting on sending our helper back home. She keeps finding fault with her, which was not the case in the past. I really don't want to get her sent back, as this is not her fault. She has a family to feed back home, and I feel very guilty. I can't speak with this about anyone. I can't even bring myself to ask my friends for advice. I'm also very worried that my mum might say something about this to my partner. Till date, he hasn't sensed anything, and I don't deprive him of anything because of what I get with our helper. Have you noticed
I'm picking up something here, yeah.
But I'm just very scared and worried. I still love my husband, and I care for our helper too.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
So I left out the title, which gave away the twist, but it's a woman cheating on her husband with their maid, and they play scissors when home alone.
This is a beautiful love story that I have seen many a time play out on the hub and so forth. So why is her mother still involved if she's married and just hired the maid for your house, for your own?
The mom is staying with them.
Well, send her home. Fuck off. You're getting in the way of all this lesbian activity that's going on.
Well, unless the mom wants to film it or join in, because then that's
there's always a market for that.
It would be disgusting, but I would need to review it for documentary purposes.
Absolutely disgraceful. But where are you posting this? Just out of curiosity. It's one of those tricky situations. Do you let your mom, make you
know that you're cheating on your husband with
your lesbian maid? Yeah, tricky situation. But clearly though, she feels like because she's giving you some action, she can slack on her work a little bit. Got to be maybe more disciplined. Only reward her with lesbianism if she's good to you and cleans the place properly. So it's no, there was 3 faults with your cleaning this week. No scissoring. Sorry. Can't be done.
It's the secret. Well, if you hooked up with someone, what would be the most awkward thing to find them doing afterwards?
Interesting question. I don't know. Calling their husband or their lesbian lover, I suppose, would be one of them.
Cleaning up their chest.
Yeah, I guess it could be the most awkward thing afterwards. I don't know, writing a review on some website randomly. I don't know. What have we got? Somebody.
Well, a woman shared how she hooked up with a man she met on Tinder. And when she woke up in the middle of the night, she saw him touching himself and moaning in the living room.
Yep. Told her not to tell anyone about that story. I didn't realize it was from her perspective. Yeah, well, there you go. Maybe he was just super excited and, just wanted to crank another one out before she left. But she was asleep, so
no, take care. This is the thing. It's not at his place, it's at her place.
Well, still, he's going to have to leave. She was asleep. He was like, well, I got needs. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, she says that they hooked up and it wasn't great, but she figured that they could try one more time at a later date. They cuddled their way to sleep. In the middle of the night, I wake up and notice he's not in bed with me. I thought he may have gone to the sofa and wanted to take a quick peek to make sure he was okay. As I walked to the door, I froze because I could hear him moaning. First of all, who is moaning?
Some of us are very expressive, okay?
When you're playing with yourself at a Tinder date's apartment, I think you shouldn't be moaning in the middle of the night.
Listen, we've all got our ways. Some of us think that adds to it. So, anyway.
Long story short, he spent the whole night touching himself on my couch multiple times and moaning audibly, thinking I was asleep, even though that makes no sense and the door was wide open. Not only that, but as I stood there in horror, I could also hear him fart through the whole thing.
Okay, well, maybe being horny made him gassy as well. I don't know.
At around 5:25, I was so over it that I set an alarm on my phone to pretend I was getting up. When he heard it, he fell silent. I gave it a minute, then left my room to grab some water. I was mortified to see he'd use one of my favorite couch throws to cover himself and pretend he was asleep, meaning it probably has some of his man juice on it.
I mean, there's no probably, so definitely had a lot of man juice on it. So,
at 8:30, somewhat pretending to be awake or asleep, and as soon as the sun came up, I pretended I had some work stuff to do and asked him to leave. I feel extremely grossed out. I'm going to wash all of my couch cushion covers. I felt the need to deep clean my bathroom before taking a shower. I'm washing all of my sheets and may throw out my throw. I don't know why, but I feel deeply violated by this.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world that has ever happened to anybody. People are there with much worse stories.
Quit trying to justify your actions.
Listen, all right, I'm just saying. She's spying on the dude doing what he's doing. She could have offered to help him. So she could have been like, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's just go back to bed." And then there you go. So it's partially her fault for not initiating more sexy times between the two of them. So yeah. But also, yeah, if you're gonna do that, like, try and just be aware of the other person if they're awake and are watching you. You should chill out a little bit. And yeah. Anyway, so also, if that does happen to you, just make sure you tell the other person not to post about it online, because clearly they didn't listen.
Wise words.
Yes. Well, here you go.
Well, now we move to an Irish story. So,
Great.
You've been looking for a roommate?
Who isn't all the time, forever? Yeah. So.
And you have some special considerations.
I can't wait to hear what you have got coming up here.
Well, this is from the Irish Mirror.
Sure.
A landlord looks for a woman to share a double bed with a complete stranger for €650 a month.
That's a good price, to be fair. Yeah.
A rental ad has sparked outrage after it advertised a room for a woman, but she would have to share a bed with a complete stranger. The listing for the room in an apartment in Lucan, Lucan, West Dublin, was advertised at €650 per month to share a double bed with another student.
Yep. Yeah, Lucan is a part of Dublin. It is not I mean, I haven't been there in a long time, but as my memory is, it's not a high class area of Dublin. So
sharing a bed with a stranger is
quite a common occurrence, I would say. But yes, the Irish housing market is crazy. Rental prices are ridiculous. Like, it's probably cheaper to rent an apartment in New York City than it is to rent in a small town in Ireland right now. It's really ridiculously crazy, the rental prices. So $650 a month, but you get the minor inconvenience of having to share a bed with a stranger. You know, we got to make compromises, you know, so it's all good. Yeah.
There was actually there was a news story the other day where they were talking about rental prices in Sydney because it's also crazy. And they interviewed a random Irish couple who had moved here. And like, so they had all these like Australians who were like, yeah, it's crazy prices. And then these like Irish couple like, yeah, it's about comparative to Dublin. Like, both are pretty crazy, but it's what we're used to.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even think you could share a bed with someone here for €650 a month.
I mean, you know, that's a pretty good deal. So,
yeah,
it's becoming more and more normal. There was another case of like, there was somebody had at one point, and I think they were forced to take it down, but they had like literally a tent in their back garden it was up for rent for like $800 a month. And
yeah, they've had that stuff here too. Yeah. Even balconies, people were like renting out their balconies or.
Yeah. So anything to make a few extra euros per month, and people are desperate enough that they're going to pay it. So. Yeah.
Well, this is a 2-bedroom apartment that you're going to be sharing with a family and then sharing a bed with a stranger.
I feel like there's no problems with that whatsoever. Everybody's going to have a great time.
The ad, which has been removed, said permanent accommodation available for one female, preferably Indian. It's a double bedroom with separate bathroom. You will be sharing the room with another student from Trinity College and house with an Indian family. Doesn't go into details of how big the family is, but
I'm just going to guess there's more than 6 people in the family.
Who have to share one room, and then
yeah, and then there is the other person you're sharing the room with as well. So there you go. And
yeah,
it's illegal to say preferably Indian in your ad. By the way, you have to open it to everybody. So,
I mean, I feel like this breaks like several laws. I don't think.
No, that's the only law. That's very good.
I'm not sure that you're actually allowed to rent rooms that share a bed with another person.
This is Ireland. We do things a bit crazy. I actually don't think it's illegal, but it's frowned upon.
I mean, it would definitely be illegal here. That and even being out. I don't know, like, unless you're very specifically structured, I don't think you can say female either here. Like, it'd have to be, like, if it's a dorm or something.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know.
Yeah, it's unlikely to pass for that. But hey, there you go. Actually, I actually do think they wouldn't get away with the sharing a bed thing. But
that part's fine.
Yeah.
Well, a RT sting has caught an Irish landlord on camera asking for sex in lieu of rent as part of an undercover sting.
Yep, that's the new way of paying rent. Just having sex with your landlord.
It's a good deal, you know?
I
Cost
mean,
of rent these days. I mean,
yeah, you got to save yourself some cash. Just a quick, like, think about it. If someone's a landlord and is asking for, he's probably going to be 2 minutes. That's all. So,
yeah,
you know,
I mean, he's way out of pocket for.
unless he's saving on his usual expenditure for sex activities. So,
But even that is not going to be equivalent of rent.
no, I mean, you'll at least get a shared bed in a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah.
Well, a manatee has died. Do you want to guess how?
Taking from a story from last week, overdosed on cocaine and just went fucking crazy.
No, that's a bit normal.
Okay.
A manatee has died of injuries from a sexual encounter with his brother at a Florida aquarium.
It's always Florida. Why is it always Florida, even with the animals?
Even the manatees are crazy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You know, people will say that there's no, you know, homosexuality or incest in the animal world, and it's not true. Animals be crazy. We fucking into all kinds of shit. So
they have a note about the thing. On the day of Hugh's passing, Hugh and Buffett engaged in natural yet increased mating behavior observed and documented in manatees both in managed care and in the wild. This was the first time such heightened mating behavior was witnessed between two manatees. Hugh and Buffett were both observed initiating and mutually seeking interactions from each other throughout the day, and there were no obvious signs of discomfort or distress, such as listing, crunching, or active avoidance that would have triggered a need for intervention, the aquarium said. So it is interesting that the aquarium is defending that there was consent involved in
making it very clear this is a consensual act of
brotherly love
gone wrong.
Following the direction of the veterinarians, distraction rather than physical separation was chosen because separation has previously caused undue anxiety and negative effects in both manatees. In an effort to redirect the manatee's attention and decrease undesirable behaviors, animal care staff used positive reinforcement tools such as high-value rewards and enrichment that had previously been successful. Now, if two manatees are trying to have sexual encounters with their brothers, what kind of high-value rewards would the aquarium have been giving them to make up for that?
That is a great question.
One that NBC News hasn't cared to ask, it seems.
Damn it. Yeah, we need to know what are the high value, what's a medium value reward?
Especially when you're trying to distract from brotherly love, literally. Surely to get a high value reward, one of the aquarium staff must have been doing something.
I think so. I think, you know, they need to come out and give us the rewards breakdown structure of what each reward is valued at for a manatee. So,
get the manatee's explanation as to why the high value reward wasn't good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe though they were just in the mood and it was going to happen, so no rewards were going to, you know, separate them enough, and then, you know, nature took its course, as they say. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's they've gone into great detail to try to defend themselves, so I would say that there's a cover up here.
Well, maybe we shouldn't have thrown that bottle of Viagra into the aquarium at some points. Maybe
as a high value reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the high value reward, whatever it was, that's what pushed everything over the line.
Just like let a lady manatee into the place for a while, but they were like, no, you kind of missed the point of what we're doing here.
Maybe they had like a Manatee blow up doll that
Oh yeah. All right, you can have half an hour each with the Manatee doll.
with Big Susie, the blow up manatee.
Yeah.
Now, parents are spending thousands of dollars for their daughters for consulting on what for their college experience.
I really hope this is not what I actually think it is. So I'm going to say something along the lines of for their tuition activities. I don't know.
No, I'll give you a hint. It's part of sororities.
They're like, I don't know, initiation things. I don't know. I didn't go to sororities.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
Prove you didn't go to a sorority.
I may have talked to people who were in them, so that's all. But yeah, I don't know. Drinking, lots of drinking. I don't know. I'm just going by Animal House here. So party organization. Who knows?
For consultants so they're spending $4,000 to hire sorority consultants to help their daughters dress and impress during rush week.
Sorry, it sounded like you said $4,000 to help them dress to impress.
To do the initiation to the sorority, which
this offends me.
I have seen many a time on innocent videos that I accidentally clicked on.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of money for such a consultancy.
Well, yeah, the University of Georgia sorority rush kicks off in August. A lousy time to wear makeup.
Okay.
You need to do it in a way that's appropriate in southern humidity, or else you're going to have orange rivers running down your face.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
That's the kind of practical advice that she gives her clients in her Georgia-based sorority consulting firm.
Beautiful. Great. I mean, day 2, you should brush your hair. Sweet. Use shampoo to clean it. Awesome. Yeah. Don't wear clothes that are going to be too hot in the hot weather. Fantastic.
Showing up in Dr. Martens combat boots, as one client asked about, might not be putting your best foot forward.
What? That is stylish and classy and very punk rock. So what the hell?
As an 18-year-old girl, I think Doc Martens are the
top choice for all 18-year-old girls.
She offers a $600 seminar for women and their mothers to learn the basics about getting into a sorority, but $3,500 buys you unlimited access to sorority mentors who advise aspirants through every step. Now, through every step, I'd love to hear the hazing calls of...
Again, we can't base all of the thoughts on those videos that we've seen on that certain website. Maybe not all of the initiations go that way, but I feel like they probably do. I feel like in my mind, they definitely do.
Sorority consultants cover such topics as what to wear, how to act, what to say, and the wisdom of scrubbing potentially off-putting social media posts. That's me going.
We are not getting into sorority this year. Damn it.
You have to be trendy, but not too trendy. Well,
Sure.
that's me going again. Modest, but not too modest. Another failure.
Yeah.
Fit in, but being unique.
Absolutely. I got that. We're good.
The trick, she said, is blending in and standing out.
Perfect. perfect. That makes no sense. But
applicants are asked to write essays, give their grade point average, and report whether they did volunteer work or played high school sports.
Mm-hmm.
Women submit application packets with as many as 30 letters of recommendations.
And why? Yeah. Anyway.
Another woman runs a company for $4,000 for her on-call service during rush week.
Well, sir, I think we've found a new business we need to get into. Advising sorority girls how to act in there so that they will get into all.
I was going to say
sorority
sending us the social media post after Scrub first so that we can review them for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we need to review everything for you. The first thing we will do is just make sure you are equipped for all of the stressful challenges that you will face in the sorority world. And I think it'd be fair. Let's be fair and only charge like $2,900 for personal care. Yeah,
I feel like we should hire someone as a consultant to get into a sorority. Yeah. Hire someone for a sorority call, and then you turn up with the beard, and they're like, and you'd be like, well, you know, Ireland's got pretty progressive these days, so.
I identify as a college chick who's like going into a sorority. Help me out. No.
Just come up with like some fake sorority name and say it's the most prestigious in all of Ireland.
Yeah, I want to be taken through every step of the application process, please.
What should I wear? How should I style my beard?
Yeah. What's the etiquette for beards in a sorority? Oh, brilliant.
So this woman sells a la carte sessions that cost $150 for video calls and $175 for in-person meetings. She also sells the big day bundle for $1,000. That includes 3 one-on-one sessions and assistance writing resumes and cover letters, as well as styling tips.
That's pretty good value for 3 one-on-one sessions, depending on what you get up to in those sessions. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
That's, yeah. Just think, you could rent a room for like a month and a half and share it with a woman.
Yeah.
Or you could do 3 sorority sessions.
I like it. I like that plan.
Last year, 125,000 women sought a spot in sororities at the 500 campuses that provide data.
Wow. 500 campuses. Jesus.
Another company for $2,000, the Fabulous and Chic package for $2,000 provides 4 sessions on applications, social media, and wardrobe, along with round-the-clock counseling during rush week. So, seems like there's a lot of people out here charging a lot for.
Yeah,
I feel like we should set up like this, but as like an outsourcing company, and have just random Indians answering the phone to guide you through getting into your sorority.
Just base everything off the movie, like Mean Girls or something, or like, this is what you should wear, and be like, but that's like 2000s fashion. That's what you should wear. That's this image. You've got these 3 outfits, nothing else.
It'd be a fun to set up like a call center as a prank and hire all these people to work as our consultants for sororities.
I think it would be fun, yeah.
But only hire like elderly dudes. So you have 60-year-old Indian men giving advice to 18-year-old.
The first thing is like, I know you might be concerned, but trust me, I have seen an awful lot of sorority content on the internet, so it's all good.
Just think of the profits. We could so easily undercut the others.
I think so. I think it's worth investigating and setting up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
no doubt it'll be a great success. So.
Well, were you in Colorado recently?
No, I vehemently defend the fact that I was not in Colorado recently.
Well, police in Lakewood, Colorado, are searching for a suspect who is wanted for stealing nearly $5,000 of what? What do you think they did? Or what did you get caught? Obviously, you stole a lot more, but what do you think that they...
I think, Colorado was one of the first places they made weed legal in the US. So I'm going to say that they stole $5,000 worth of cookies.
No, they stole $5,000 worth of women's bras and panties over the last 2 years.
Oh, it was over the last 2 years. Jeez, that's not, I mean, they've undervalued it, to be quite fair. But yeah.
Well, it depends if they're like new ones. They're valuing it based on what you get for new versus what you would sell it for used online.
I genuinely think you don't have to steal them. Just buy a load of women's panties and just sell them online as used.
That's not as fun.
I mean, you would make a lot of money. So, but yes. 5,000. I mean, tell me more about how they've been stealing these bras and knickers.
He was recently seen in a building in June and is not a known resident of it. They have photos of him.
Okay.
They've put out photos of him online. So,
damn it. I mean, yes. Go ahead.
From various laundry rooms on each floor of the Lakeview Towers. So not only he's specifically targeting 26 different thefts from the same building that he doesn't live at.
Well, that's reassuring for the residents of that building. He was able to get in not once, but 26 times. That's good. Yeah. Get into your laundry.
I'm on their website. They won an award for resident satisfaction in 2020.
Yeah, they haven't won it in 2023.
Yeah, I would note that their website mentions 2020. This happened. This has been going on since 2021. So it is a bit. What a coincidence that as soon as people's bras and panties started getting stolen, they stopped doing that.
You know, who would have thought?
Yeah. I mean, what a coincidence.
It's like in the reviews online, be like, well, it's a nice place to live, except every time you do your laundry, your bras and panties get stolen. So
if you don't mind, losing a few bras and panties.
Yeah.
There's Joe, the resident bra and panty guy. So if you're into that.
This is why you need in-unit laundry services. No communal laundry rooms, because your underwear is going.
It is listed as one of the community features, laundry center. So,
yep. So there you go. So this dude's just been going around looking for somewhere with a laundry center. Like, I wonder, can I get in? He's probably in business. He goes around buying these or stealing these items and selling them online, I would imagine. I mean, I have no insider knowledge. I'm just saying that's what he might be doing.
I didn't put him up to doing it.
Yeah. Just www.sellingstolenunderwear.com. I'm just guessing. That's what it would be. But yeah, good stuff. Well, it's bad news for him because they know who he is now. So
yeah, and there's multiple photos of him. So they've clearly. The one thing is that the building does seem to have security. So.
Which is doing a great job. So
on the 26th time, they've
sometimes you just got to investigate and be certain what's happening. So,
this The police thing says the suspect primarily, and they've underlined this part, primarily steals women's bras and underwear.
Yeah, as you do. You know, it's just a regular Tuesday activity, so. Brilliant.
Yeah, primarily. But that also implies he might have taken some men's underwear.
Hey, there's a market for everything. So
yeah. Maybe we could help catch him if we knew all the items he's stealing.
You know, yeah, that'd be helpful. So
maybe that's a misdirection. He's
possibly.
Maybe he steals men's socks, but he's like, I don't want to be known as that, so I'm going to steal women's underwear and bras to cover that if I do get caught and get stuck in prison, that no one suspects the fact that I really wanted those 3 pairs of socks, because that's my thing.
Maybe. I mean, you know, who knows what his motives were, but
well, you do, but
again, I have not been to Colorado recently at all. I can
conveniently since August 2021 when this happened.
I was probably somewhere else. I can prove I was somewhere else at the time this happened. So
you were just in the next state waiting for him to drive it over.
I was somewhere. Who knows where I was? It's not really important. But anyway. Yeah.
Well, what's the most dangerous sex position?
The most dangerous?
Yes.
Would probably be I don't know. It's probably something ridiculous like missionary, but so we will say reverse cowgirl. Why not? Let's say that.
You nailed it.
Yes. See, I knew some stuff.
This comes from The Guardian, and I do love that they have their thing to support journalism and the overview of how they do this serious journalism. So therefore, you should donate to them on an article about reverse cowgirl, the world's most dangerous sexual position.
Yes, indeed. That's exactly what they should promote. Oh, man.
It asks a bunch of weird questions. Even this article is written so... It says, so the underline is want to avoid a penile fracture or an aubergine deformity. Of course you do. Here are some positions it might be best to steer clear of. So then goes reverse cowgirl. Age, anybody's guess. Appearance, like 2 people trying to elicit the answer Tetris in a round of nude charades. So it's some type of adult game. Sort of. It's a sexual position. I swear this article is written by dodgy AI. Like
it sounds like it. They didn't even pay for the premium membership. They just used the free version. And
the next one, it says, what kind of sexual position? The world's most dangerous sexual position according to various reports. Describe it to me so I don't end up doing it by accident. The man lies on his back with the woman sitting on top facing away from him. It just generally comes off like using the Skype AI and then asking it questions and then it responds and then let's just put that as the whole article.
It does sound like, somebody phoned in their AI created article.
It says, my vision is going wide at the edges. Are there no safe positions that would enable someone to have intercourse and watch television at the same time? Apparently not. A 2017 study from the International Journal of Impotence researched named doggy as the most dangerous position, accounting for 41% of penile fractures, which just contradicted their whole article.
So what is going on with the penile fractures due to this? I mean, I also, why are you wanting to watch TV? Like, is the news on? What's on? Is it like reruns of Neighbours? What's happening?
It says, have you got any advice for practicing safer sex? The response, turn off the TV and concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Now, the next question that it asks is, and I quote, do say. That is a question. And then the answer is reverse cowgirls are for circuses. And then it says, don't say. Honestly, if we're going to do it this way, I think we should pull over.
So yeah, this is written by AI. There's no way some human being wrote this. This is ridiculous.
But make sure to donate to The Guardian based on that level of.
Also,
fantastic
whoever wrote
journalism.
this has not experienced the touch of a woman in any way. Never mind in reverse or forward cowgirl. So that's all I'm gonna say. So.
Yes, thank you, The Guardian, for fine journalism.
Yeah. Fine journalism. Yeah.
Now, how would you go about getting Leonardo DiCaprio's attention?
I would invite some 26-year-old woman to stand in front of me. I think so. He'd be interested in that. Yeah,
possibly, but who knows? But a Indian man has figured out a way to get Leonardo DiCaprio's attention.
All right, sweet.
He discovered a rare new species of fish almost 3 years ago and has found renewed fame after Leonardo DiCaprio praised him online. A former paramilitary soldier from the southern state of Kerala found a new species of fish in 2020. The fish gets its name from whatever. The small snake-like species, they go into a lot of detail about this fish. But basically, he posted online a picture of a fish in a bucket. He was taking a bath when he spotted a red thread in the bucket. He scooped it out and took a closer look and found the thread was moving. He placed it inside a glass jar and contacted a local college professor. And over the next few weeks, they found four more fish from the same species in his well and water tank.
Okay.
But yeah, basically he posted a picture of a tiny fish online and got Leonardo DiCaprio's attention.
So the key to getting Leonardo DiCaprio's attention is
take a picture of a fish in a bucket.
Yeah, previously unknown fish you need to find in a bucket and take a picture of.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Shouldn't be a problem. I think that's achievable.
So let's get started.
Yeah, why not? I think we should try and do that at some point. So yeah, once in our lifetime.
Next week's episode is us with a bucket.
There's so many things that could be.
Well, what's the best food to receive on a plane?
I mean, there's not many answers for this. Yeah, I don't know. The chicken. Let's go with the chicken.
It is chicken.
Yes.
The story is about the chicken.
Nice.
More specifically, a 12-hour flight from London on British Airways served all passengers KFC.
Yes. Way better than their normal shit. I mean, food. I mean, yeah.
They learned that it had a catering problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the plane's catering carts were not properly chilled, so all the food meant for the 12-hour-long flight had to be thrown out. After the plane landed in the Bahamas for a stopover, the crew arranged alternative catering, several buckets of chicken from KFC. Both business class and economy passengers got the same meal, fried chicken.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, what a lovely meal on your flight. So
Some lucky passengers got one piece of chicken.
yeah, well, can't have everything.
I mean, if you're vegan or for whatever reason cannot eat KFC,
then that's your fault. And you should, yeah, sorry about that, but it's not everyone else is gonna have a nice time with their KFC. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like they let you order what you want. You got one piece of chicken.
Yeah.
For a 12-hour flight.
Listen, you're not on Ryanair, so you're not paying for it. It's all good.
Well, you literally are paying for it because you're on BA. You're paying extra for. That's supposed to be a.
You're not supposed to think about it like that. You're supposed to think you're paying for the quality service and the comfy seats and everything.
One of the things that you're specifically paying for is the food.
Don't think about it.
I'm pretty sure that if we go to their website, British Airways.
Oh, I'm sure they do have something about their food. I mean, 100% it'd be like the first thing you would do when you get off the flight is be like, I want a refund for my flight because your food was nasty or whatever. But
The first thing that it says when you go British Airways food and drink, we have enhanced our food and beverage service to ensure you remain safe and healthy as you travel with us.
Mm-hmm.
Which even says, it sounds weird enough on its own. Like, what do you mean you're making us safe with the food now? That kind of implies that they were like unsafe before. That like,
there's nothing safer and healthier than not giving you any food whatsoever, because you're definitely not going to get food poisoning if we don't give you food. All right, taking care of business.
There's a line underneath it too that says some descriptions and images may not represent our current available services, which is pretty ironic when they literally.
Yeah. Also, could be the way forward is just to have like a KFC franchise on every plane.
Yeah, that is the way.
You want food? We got KFC or we got Subway. Which do you want?
Having a guy walk down the aisle with like KFC buckets and like
that, what could possibly go wrong? Perfect.
Yeah. They did when I was a kid, we flew on American Airlines, and I remember that my sister and I loved it because they had their own version of it. Was something to do with McDonald's where they had a deal, but they would give you a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Even though it tasted nothing like McDonald's, it had like all the McDonald's stuff on it. And so we always wanted to fly American Airlines again for that purpose.
There you go. I mean, yeah. I don't know if they're still doing burgers, but I know KLM do burgers in business class. They're supposed to be terrible. So
yeah, business class burger would be weird.
Just if you want to go burger again, KLM is the airline.
I'm here for the burgers, and that's it.
Yeah. Flying business class so I can get a cheeseburger. Thanks.
I could go buy like 100 burgers in the airport. Yeah, New York's best burgers. They sell.
There you go.
KLM. What a great thing to know.
Now you know. You will never forget it. So.
Oh wait, no, that's KLM telling you which burgers to get in New York.
Oh, okay.
One of which they have is Shake Shack, which seems a bit odd that would be where you would be saying is the best in New York, considering Shake Shack's kind of everywhere.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of like saying try Burger King. They've got the Whopper. It's great.
If you're in New York, try a Big Mac.
Yeah. Kind of just hits different in New York.
There's something about that New York air that
Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, someone actually did post a photo of their burger online that I can see that they did get their burger in business class on thingy. But you mentioned Subway before. Now,
Yes.
Subway have a promotion to win Subway for life. Do you want to guess what you have to do it? And this is in Florida again. So it's, yeah.
Oh, I know what this is. I saw this. You have to change your name to Subway.
Yes.
Who the fuck is doing that? Yeah.
They've got subwaynamechange.com.
Yeah.
Is their website for it. But yeah, you have to legally change your name to it. By entering the contest, fans will agree to have that if they are selected as the winner, they'll legally change their first name to Subway.
I mean, do you have to keep your name as Subway for the rest of your life? Can you change it back after a certain time? You still get free Subways forever. You know, is it international free Subways?
No, so what you get is, so the winner will receive $750 to cover the cost of legally changing their name, along with $50,000 in Subway gift cards.
I mean, and in the US, they got to pay taxes on it. So you gotta pay, I don't know, 20% of your winnings, so 10 grand. So that's
maybe the
grand.
gift card part is how you get around that.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Or I don't know, yeah.
Maybe you can sell the gift cards for like, I don't know, probably get 30,000 for them at most. I don't know. I certainly don't think I would be. I'd be weighing up all the options here. Do I like Subway enough to want to change my name to Subway? Can I contact other companies? Can I be like, hey, BMW, I'll change my name to BMW. What you got for me? Every year, change your name to something else and a new thing for a year, or a lifetime supply. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just get the gift cards. It doesn't go into that. It says that may be used to buy Subway food for the rest of the winner's life, fulfilled at one time. Approximate retail value of $50,750. The prize is non-transferable.
All right.
But if you have gift cards, surely you can
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Subway would be a great first name for you.
You know, I feel like if it was KFC, I would go for it. But now that you just bring them back, but as it's Subway, I'm not sure. You know.
Yeah, imagine how much it would mess with people if your first name was KFC.
What's the K stand for?
Cute. A family smuggled $7.6 million worth of what in the US?
Pokemon cards.
No.
Fuck. All right then.
You're way off. $7.6 million worth of recycling cans smuggling.
What?
They're facing felony charges in connection to a massive recycling fraud investigation. They illegally redeemed $7.6 million from aluminum cans and plastic bottles that were smuggled from Arizona over California's border. The family illegally smuggled 178 tons of empty beverage containers to defraud California's beverage container recycling program.
Okay. So I have a feeling they were like, we found a loophole. We can bring all these cans. We could buy all these cans from somewhere and bring them to California and get paid for them. And they're like, that's a great deal. I don't think this is a criminal mastermind at work here.
Well, it is if they did it for $7.6 million worth.
I mean, probably they just thought they'd found a glitch in the system where they could make a lot of money. And yeah, you know.
So an investigation into several Riverside County recycling centers operated by the family. California's recycling program is funded by consumers and helps protect our environment. They filed charges against 8 defendants and served search warrants on 6 locations, which resulted in the seizure of $1 million and additional material.
Yeah, you don't want them getting your digital material for sure. Don't be tricky.
You can take my recycled bottles, but don't touch my digital material.
Yeah, that's careful. Be careful with that.
Now let's end on a fun question.
Okay.
If you drink a drunk person's blood, will you get drunk?
You might have bigger issues and problems than getting drunk. It depends how drunk they are, maybe. But no, it depends how much you drink. If you drink all of it, you might have an issue. So yeah, I'm going to say it's not a healthy choice. Let's just put that out there. Yeah. If you're in a blood drinking mood, you probably shouldn't be driving anyway. So, you know, that's all.
Nothing to do with driving. It's whether you.
I'm just saying, you know, you shouldn't.
There is a scientific thing that if someone had a blood alcohol level of 0.4 and you drink 14 glasses of their blood in a short amount of time, you would throw up.
I mean, yeah. If someone wasn't drunk and you drank 14 glasses of their blood, you'd probably throw up as well. Oh, some scientists got paid for this. Like, yeah. So, what are you working on, Bob? Just trying to see how many glasses of drunk people's blood it takes for you to throw up. So far, we're up to 10. So, here, have a drink.
Well, that doesn't take it far enough either, because,
great.
Well, I mean, blood's not the only liquid you can consume. So, what if you drank the semen of a drunk person?
I mean, it's probably
a real problem you've had. Obviously,
it's probably quite a low dosage, though. You're not going to fill up 14 glasses.
I don't know.
One person.
Dude, you sleep with. What if I have a drunk orgy with 15 guys?
Oh, well, we were talking. I was considering we just had one person here, and still, you know.
Well, that wouldn't be any fun.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. If you're asking how many glasses before you throw up, I would say 1.
I'm just asking for your experience. I mean,
well, you know my experience. So, but yeah, I don't know why they have this as a scientific subject. Why do we need to know the answers to these questions?
Well, it is a genuine problem. Like, enough people do consume semen that could be of a drunk person's, and they may not have had any alcohol, and now they have to worry about.
I'm sure they'll be fine. People have been doing that for a long time.
So. What if you're an alcoholic, right? And you're dedicated to sobriety, and you hook up with a guy who's been drinking. Have you not technically then had a drink yourself.
Technically, it's been distilled quite well. So I think, through the body, you're probably all right. I think. So.
I mean, you can always do a scientific study.
No. I think I'm
buy one of those machines.
No. I think we're fine.
And then this did, as I was reading this, make me think of it as being a fun street question for Thailand to ask people in the street. Like, I'm concerned if I'm sober, but what if I hook up with a ladyboy and she's been drinking? Does that count as me breaking my sobriety?
I think we should just find like the most macho guys that we can and be like, so let's just say you hook up with a ladyboy. And she's been drinking. So what do you think? What do you think? And see how they react.
I haven't tasted drunk ladyboy semen yet, but I've been told you can taste the difference. So, from your experience,
in your obvious experience, what do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good excuse to get off drunk driving too. I did not drink any alcohol. But the bukkake I had with 20 drunk dudes.
I mean,
presenting that to a judge. Your Honor, I was involved in a drunken bukkake where I was sober, and well,
and you were there. You were guy number 4, so you know it's true. Yeah.
But having actual lawyers have to dispute that.
Yeah. If anyone has a legal background, tell us how that would go down in court. Have we found a loophole here?
I believe we have. I feel like we should be hired for drunk driving offenses to get people off, because then the police have to present their case. And I'll be damned if some police officer is going to disprove that my getting drunk was as the result of a drunken bukkake.
You know, between us being hired for that and the sorority business we're going to start up, I think we're set for life now. So should be fun. Should be a fun few months of.
I feel like you got to try it. I mean, if you're being caught red-handed, you may as well Hail Mary.
Why not? You've got nothing else to go with. So
yeah. Your Honor, I was involved in a very elaborate bukkake session. And many of the men had drank a lot of alcohol. And I put it to you that I was unaware at the time that their semen could have got me drunk.
I feel like I hope somebody is watching this and actually uses that as a defense at some point. If you got this far in the show, please do that sometime. So,
I mean, if you got this far, you do have to be the kind of person who would engage in such activity.
Yeah, you would. So you have to be kind of fucking weird. So you probably would do that shit. So anyway, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, asking randoms on the street for advice on, or even how long do I have to wait after consuming ladyboy semen to ensure that I'm safe to drive home?
Yeah.
It's an important question to ask people on the street.
It is. People don't know the appropriate times, I would imagine.
As representatives of the BWC, the Wales version of the BBC, we need to get that education out there. There are Welsh citizens who are worrying about whether their ladyboy semen is going to make them drunk drive home. And we need it on tonight's news to ensure that there is not another day where a Welsh person unknowingly consumes alcohol through ladyboy semen.
Yes, it's an important issue.
It's one of the most important issues facing our community in these troubling times.
We do cover the real topics on the show. The real topics, the real people need. So,
and then just transition into like some deep political conversation with them. Now, why do you think that Joe Biden has caused such an impact on Wales? The Welsh community need answers.
We're just not gonna. I think we're gonna get in trouble. But it's
Well, I mean, we couldn't ask them about Welsh politics because we literally know nothing. So
True.
It would be even better to like speak to someone and then like they pull out that, well, I'm from Wales.
Oh, I'm sure that won't be a problem. You can find somebody. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And what about the whale problem in Wales? They call the whales in Wales that are traumatized.
I mean, yeah.
I was just asking people, do you have a message for the whales of Wales?
It's a great question.
We're big representatives of the mammals of Wales. And sorry.
All of them. Yeah, all the mammals.
No. Only whales, though.
Okay.
Wales' right. Favorite whales.
Why not? Well, we can hopefully forget about that by the time it comes around. But somehow I think we won't. Yeah. Well, all right, man. I've got like just bukkake in my head. So thanks.
Research on how many drunk people can you have in a bukkake before?
Google search after this show is never healthy. Yeah, I should never look at it again.
That's actually a good question to ask people too. Like, how many drunk people can I have in my bukkake before I might get drunk from consuming their semen? And go.
So just add because 35 was not enough. So do you? How many? And what are you doing at 8 o'clock tonight? There's an event you could go to. All right, man. Well, that's disturbed me more than enough for this week. So I think we should leave it there. But
time to save the whales of Wales. It's my new charity.
Exactly. Just, for charity purposes, of course. But all right, man. Well,
until next week.
Yeah, I just disturbed more and more every week, but it's all good. I will. I'll catch you next week. Have a good one, man.